It seems the facts have changed somewhat. Mr. Atishon Wimperson apparently lent his family heirloom to Dr. Buff. Mr. Justice, how would the defense like to proceed?
Oh, alright. Now what?
Apollo, let's hear what they know about this so-called Crystal of Amy Fay. Maybe we can find some inconsistencies in their statements.
Right. Okay then, Mr. Wright, if the item in question really is an Atishon family heirloom, then let's hear all your client knows about it. Of course. Mr. Atishon Wimperson, please tell the defense everything you know about the crystal's origin. All right, now then listen and learn. This is the tale of the Crystal of Amy Fay and the illustrious history of the Addison clan. Are you ready to rumble? Our story begins back in the old country when the Addison family reigned supreme. Give me that testimony, a quick oral history of the Addison clan. My ancestor was praised as a benevolent ruler. He protected the spirit mediums, a minority back then, from the rest of the locals. Some discriminated against them, you see, while others tried to abuse their power. As thanks, Amy Fay gave the crystal she had specially made as a gift to him. I am a descendant of that great lord. As such, my political power and influence is backed by centuries of history. Well, that devolved into a great load of self-aggrandizing propaganda pretty fast. As you can see, the Crystal of Amy Fay is an heirloom of the esteemed House of Addison. A really good house that we all like. And you have proof that it has always been in the Addison family? I have someone who gave a statement to that effect. My client's neighbor, one Ives Shinedo, age 85, gave the following statement. Ives? The Addison showed me the crystal back when I was but a lad.
Objection!
I don't know. Can we really trust the memory of an old man? Mr. Justice, would you care to explain that statement to the judge, the very old judge who's in charge of this trial? Oh, I didn't mean to be, what I'm trying to say is, do we know the mental state of,
Never underestimate the memory of your elders. Where am I? What was I? Yeah, I may forget my verdicts the next day, but the memories of my past are as clear as day. Probably.
What's your name again, Judge?
Therefore, I find Mr. Yishinado's statement to be perfectly credible.
Well, did you see how Mr. Wright got the judge on his side? That's definitely a trick I want up my sleeve.
You're not helping, Athena.
You may cross-examine the witness, Mr. Justice.
Okay. All right, Paul. If that is your name. My ancestor was praised as a benevolent ruler.
Hold it!
That object you set down there, is it something of importance to you? It's a name placard. This one here belonged to my grandfather, Abraham Addison. Why does it say Paul if it belonged to Abraham? He had it custom made during his distinguished political career. Objection? It's special because it was crafted from the finest Italian plastic. I wasn't aware the Italians were famous for their fine plastic. Heh, you can touch it if you want. Oh, it does have a little sticker. No, I'm fine. I'm good. The fact that you want me to touch it means I don't want to touch it. Very well. I'll just continue with my testimony. My ancestor was praised as a benevolent ruler, but he was also an eminent politician. He protected the spirit mediums, a minority back then, from the rest of the locals. I really hope, just thinking about recent politics, that is part of his breakdown, that this is a wig and it just flops away. Just a thought I just had. Hold it! So I take it the relationship with the Fay clan was a close one. A smooth and open line of communication with my entire electorate. That is the Paul Atishon way. Huh? Oh, sorry. I was asking about your ancestor. Hey, whether it's about me or my ancestor, feel free to ask me anything you'd like. Transparency in government, that's the Paul Atishon way. More like dodging questions, that's the Paul Atishon way. Thanks, I'll be sure to ask when I have something you'll actually answer. As I was saying, the Addison family protected the Fey spirit mediums back then. Some discriminated against them, you see, while others tried to abuse their power. Hold it! Spirit mediums were targets of discrimination? Yes, some people even treated them like they were monsters. The transformation the mediums underwent when channeling spirits frightened the locals. And then there were those who tried to use them. You mean they sought to control the channeling powers of the mediums? Discriminating against a minority is absolutely despicable. A vote for me is a vote to end discrimination. I vow to root it out wherever it may be. That is my promise to you.
He's totally ignoring your questions. It's like you're a moderator of a political debate.
Yeah, and only he cares about his talking points. As thrilling as your campaign is, could we please get back to your testimony? Fair, as you wish. Now then, as for the Crystal of Amy Fay. As thanks, Amy Fay gave the crystal she had specially made as a gift to him. Hold it! You said she had it made, so then it was made in Japan? That's right. They say she hired a famous craftsman to make it. And they say it's quite valuable too. And you were gonna take such a priceless family heirloom and just give it to your patron? Fair. That's so typical of you ignorant common types. Making difficult decisions when the chips are down is what being a politician is all about. But only what's in service of your own political career, you mean? The crystal is a testament to my ancestors' remarkable achievements. And furthermore, I am a descendant of that great lord. Hold it! So tell me, Mr. Addison Wimperson, are you famous in Kurain village? You could say that, but I find my popularity to be rather bemusing. Bemusing? Yes, my campaign posters keep going missing as soon as I put them up. My avid supporters and female fans are likely taking them home to hang in their bedrooms and then pretend they are giving me kisses. I guess ignorance really is bliss. Heh. All this only proves my fine lineage. As such, my political power and influence is backed by centuries of history. Hold it! I'm sorry, but is any of that relevant to the issue of the relic's rightful owner? Have you never heard of Kingcraft? Is that a video game? Kingdom of Kingcraft? It's the art of ruling as a king. My father drilled it into my head from a young age. And one of its precepts states, ruin awaits a ruler who responds to every single issue posed by the masses. well, that answers my question about what he meant by king of this nation. Progress.
Apollo, who is this Amy Fay anyway?
I believe she was the founder of the Kurain channeling technique. The plaintiff claims she had the crystal made for his ancestor. That would mean it was made in Japan, right? Yeah, I suppose it would. My ancestor was praised as a benevolent ruler, protecting the spirit mediums. Some discriminated them. As thanks, Amy Fay gave the crystal she had specially made as a gift to him. But as Kurain's national treasure, I mean, this looks the same, mostly. I think he's an amalgamation of kind of a bunch of politicians, because he's definitely saying some Kennedy lines, and there's a little Trump going on, but I don't think it's supposed to be a commentary on any specific politician. We don't gotta get too political up in here. Let's see. His research notes. Matama motif from Kurain founding period. So, aha. They've actually circled this little triangle right here. Or not triangle, this diamond. And that diamond pattern is also visible here. That seems to be important. So if that's a Matama motif from the Kurain founding period, why would someone in Japan have put it on a relic that they had? Right? Yeah? So I think the research notes is going to be on this clue, because there's a reason they zoomed in on it like that.
Objection!
You stated that Amy Fay had the crystal made for your ancestor. So am I to assume it was made in Japan? That's right. The craftsmanship is unbeatable. Well, that's strange. I don't see how your so-called crystal could have been made there. What are you talking about? It's quite obvious if you take a closer look at this. We're talking about the little diamond pattern right here up front. Take a look at the distinctive design here. According to Dr. Buff, it's a Matama motif dating back to the early days of the kingdom of Kurain.
The kingdom of Kurain? And you base this on?
Here, this piece of evidence, Your Honor. These are the doctor's research notes on the founder's orb. This is the box in which the orb was originally stored. It features the same pattern as the one found on the orb.
They do look like the same pattern.
Therefore, I assert that the disputed item must have been made in the kingdom of Kurain. Ah! Oigma, my blackhead! Oh! The Kurain channeling technique originated in the kingdom of Kurain. And Amy Fay is known to have traveled there to train. With that in mind, what's to say she didn't bring that pattern back with her?
Objection!
But since this is clearly a Kurainese design, not even you can deny the possibility that it was made there, in the kingdom of Kurain.
Objection!
There's a literal breakdown, yeah. Anything's possible to some extent. That doesn't make it true. So you can't conclude that the orb is from Kurain based solely on that pattern. If it were that simple, I could just as easily say it's Japanese. I think you're kind of reaching there, Phoenix. I think you're kind of bluffing.
I have to agree with Mr. Wright. The pattern alone proves nothing. But that also means there's no basis to claim the item in dispute was made in Japan either. At this rate, we're going nowhere fast.
He's right. We're just spinning our wheels here.
I wonder if we have any evidence that could break this stalemate.
Evidence that could break this stalemate. Yes, it exists. It exists. Now I am bluffing. The defense would like to present a piece of evidence to the court. A piece that will finally break this stalemate. Oh? Well, you've sure piqued my interest. Let's see what you got. All right. I will now prove that this is in fact the Founder's Orb. It's Kurain's national treasure. It's not in here, is it? No. That'd be funny. Yeah, I'm probably gonna take a penalty here. Let's just present the orb itself, and I just want to see what happens. Because I think that it's
Take that!
I guess how does that piece of evidence prove that the relic is the Founder's Orb? It doesn't, does it? Not by any means I can fathom.
Sorry, Paul, but I have to agree with the boss on this one.
Me too, actually.
P3 defense.
Yikes!
Time to think that one over again, Mr. Justice.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm gonna see how far back it goes back.
Evidence that could break this stalemate.
I'm gonna say it does not exist. Since they're giving me the choice to choose again, that means it's not there. There doesn't seem to be anything we can use. At least not at this point.
Well, unless we can find something, this trial won't be going anywhere.
Oh jeez. I've broken a thing. Phew, that's much better. What's his deal? I have a suggestion. Why don't we consider this from a different angle? Why don't we turn our thinking upside down? I'm listening. What if the Defiant Dragons really were authorized to take possession of the relic?
I'm afraid I don't know where you're going with this, Mr. Wright.
Consider the orb transfer agreement, which states, I agree to hand over the Founder's Orb to the Defiant Dragons if I will come to no harm. What if, as the last part suggests, this was written under duress? That would render the agreement null and void. What are you suggesting, Mr. Wright? While you were on your little cave expedition, I was investigating Dr. Buff's accident. And there was something you overlooked, Mr. Justice. Namely, that his accident might have actually been murder. What? Murder?
Mr. Wright, you do realize such statements are not to be made lightly. Are you suggesting the Doctor was murdered by the Defiant Dragons?
Yes, but follow me on this for a sec. The books that came tumbling down were from the archaeology shelf. However, among that mountain of books was a single volume on psychology. What's more, there was some blood on it. And you feel that this is important because the books that came tumbling down were from the top shelf, the archaeology books. We know this because the Doctor's books were meticulously organized by subject. Archaeology took up the entire shelf, so that psychology book is completely out of place. Come to think of it, the shelves were arranged quite carefully. It's also worth noting that psychology books only take up a tiny part of the bottom shelf. You might wonder why a book on psychology was found amid the pile of archaeology books. But I believe I can explain what that single out-of-place book was doing there. The Doctor was struck from behind while selecting a psychology book from the shelf. And that's when the blood got on the book. I think a book would be a really bad murder weapon. Like, hit up close with it. It's not very heavy. Precisely. And to make it look like an accident, he was buried under a mountain of archaeology books.
Objection!
Wait a second. This is all just speculation, right? Or do you have proof that it was murder? Of course I do. You do? On a hunch, I had Detective Skye examine the Doctor's head wound. She found that he'd been struck by the corner of some object or another. Wait, what? A wound like that couldn't have resulted from a fall to the floor, you know. Do you understand what this means, Mr. Justice? The wound makes it crystal clear that Dr. Buff was murdered. Ah, what? Well, that was unexpected. Who'd have thought we'd break out of the stalemate like this? He pulled the ladder right out from under us, like some kind of step ladder. Still, if he thinks that's enough to make me back down, he's got another thing coming. Like me backing down onto him. Even if the cause of death was murder, what makes you think it was the Defiant Dragons? You should know better than to hurl baseless accusations.
Objection!
Did you forget who you were up against, Mr. Justice? Huh? You didn't actually think I'd come to court without witnesses and evidence, did you? Oh, what are you talking about? I would like to request further testimony from the plaintiff. Specifically, I would like the court to hear how he saw one of the rebels leaving the crime scene. He saw what? Okay.
If he can prove it was murder, that's the end of our client's right to the orb. Did he have this up his sleeve the whole time?
How could Mr. Wright do this to us? He was just waiting to spring this trap.
This trial has taken another unexpected turnabout. But I must mention, Mr. Wright, that you have yet to identify the murder weapon.
The object used to commit the murder was not located at the scene of the crime. The murderer likely disposed of it elsewhere. Okay. So you don't think it was the book, but something else was used to hit his head.
Well, I never thought we'd be liberating the issue of murder at a civil trial.
Why not? We do it every other time.
All right, Mr. Addison Wimperson, your testimony, if you please.
Hey, prepare to be dazzled. Dazzled by charismatic oration forged in the crucible of campaign battles. The rebel's crime. That evening, I was walking alone, lost in thought. I passed by the doctor's house, and that's when I saw Mr. Rebel. He was running out the front door. It was around 10 at night. Surely that must have been him fleeing the scene of his crime. A vote for me is a vote to end such violence. That is my promise to you.
So the plaintiff saw a possible suspect fleeing from the doctor's residence. And it was within the window of the estimated time of death.
That's a rebel. What in the world were you doing there then? It seems Mr. Rebel was loitering about Kurain village that day. There's evidence he was in the doctor's study as well. Isn't that right, Mr. Justice? Ah! You mean the suitcase? Exactly. He must have been in quite the rush to leave that behind. Oh, and by the way, Your Honor, Mr. Rebel just so happens to be sitting in the gallery today. See? That's him trying to escape as we speak.
Bailiff, don't let that man get away.
I'm just right, you backstabber. Why are you doing this to me?
All right. The counsel/defense may question the plaintiff/witness once more. Please proceed, Mr. Justice.
You'll never get anything out of me. That evening, I was walking alone, lost in thought.
Hold it!
Why are you taking a walk alone? And I doubt you were thinking. Society is inundated with serious problems that must be solved, and as a politician, I'm always on the job, thinking hard about possible solutions. Even on my walks, ISIS is a terrible problem. We have to get them. Thanks for the non-answer. While we live our comfy lives, there are starving children who suffer in the back alleys of our major cities. It's not in me to ignore such suffering. A vote for me is a vote to end hunger and for world peace via massive amounts of war. Yeah, Mr. Addison Whipperson, we are all well aware of your outstanding character. Now, please continue with your testimony. Hey. I can practically hear my poll numbers surging. It's quick, someone check 538. Now on with my speech. After all, the voting public must be informed of the magnificence that is me. I passed by the doctor's house, and that's when I saw Mr. Rebel.
Hold it!
Where exactly were you when you saw Mr. Rebel? Right here, under this tree. I saw him dashing out of Dr. Buff's front door. And he didn't notice you? No, I was hidden by the tree.
Is it really all that important to know where the plaintiff saw Mr. Rebel?
It isn't important to not know. Oh wait, I hit the wrong button. No, I don't believe it bears any relevance to this case. Oops!
Alright then. Will the witness please continue with the testimony?
1 second as I put that back on the clock. Yes, it is important. The thing that I always press the first time. Yes, I believe it matters a lot. I ask that it please be added to the witness's testimony. I was under this tree when I saw Mr. Rebel.
Hold it!
What are you doing under that tree? A lack of lateral thinking. That is a politician's downfall. What? What? That is why, if I'm elected, I promise to think outside the box. The question was, if you'd like to answer the question, what were you doing under the tree, Mr. Addison Whipperson? Fair. I suppose I can't expect a plebeian such as yourself to understand my grand design. Why are you interrupting me? Why don't you interrupt him? What are you doing? Oh yeah? Try me, oh lord of plebs. Mr. Addison Whipperson, I believe the court is well aware of your grand political vision. Now, let's have the rest of your testimony, if you please. I can hardly wait for the upcoming election. He was running out the front door.
Hold it!
Did you notice anything unusual? Yes, his behavior was incredibly suspicious. That's how he normally is. He's kind of just suspicious. His eyes were darting all around as he ran off in total panic. As soon as I saw that, I knew he had done something and it probably wasn't good. Despite that, you still didn't report it to the police? Who would have thought he had killed Dr. Buff? Not me. That's why I didn't report him.
So the witness didn't notify the police. Is that an important statement, Mr. Justice?
Yes? Is it gonna replace the other one if I put that in? Yes, it's important. I requested the witness added to his testimony. Fair. Sure, why not? Is this getting longer? Let me check and make sure I have all the things. I had no idea that Dr. Buff was dead. That's why I didn't call the police. Except you should have been able to see him through the window. Yes. You would have seen him lying there. We're gonna press this anyway before I present that because I want to know what all the things he says are and how he dodges the questions. You had no idea he was dead. In other words, you knew nothing about what had happened. I am truly ashamed of myself. What? There's been a gruesome murder in my beloved village. What a fool I've been. I was thinking only of the village's future and world peace, but mostly the village's future. It seems my earnest attitude and industrious nature have come back to haunt me. Only a politician would try to pass off self-aggrandizement as self-deprecation.
Paul, you think this is how all politicians will be from now on?
Yes. We're all doomed if they are. Hopefully we have a politician who isn't like this. Can we please have a politician who isn't like this? If you don't mind, I'd like to continue with my testimony. Okay. It was around 10 at night. Surely that must have been him fleeing the scene of his crime.
Hold it!
But at the time, you didn't know the doctor was dead. Is that correct? It's true that I've been known as a prodigy from a very young age. Huh? I graduated high school and college with exceptional grades as class president. I reformed stale old school traditions. My exploits were even covered in local papers. But as exceptional as I am, I can't possibly be expected to know everything at all times. This is not working. He keeps putting the questions to serve his own needs.
Hang in there, Apollo!
Mr. Addison Wimperson, I believe the court is well aware of your exceptional nature. Now, would you please continue with your testimony? I have the upcoming election in the bag. A vote for me is a vote to end such violence. That is my promise to you.
Hold it!
So, how do you actually intend to end such violence? Elite politicians such as myself never reveal their strategies. They are a secret, and I will only reveal them upon being elected. Did you really think I would divulge such sensitive information to the likes of you? Yeah, but surely you have some sort of campaign platform you're running on. No comment. Clearly his is a platform told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. He said he saw Dats under the tree. If that's true, then...
Did you figure something out?
Yeah, I think he's hiding something. Let's take another look at the evidence, Athena. Okay, how to solve violence with more violence. That's great, I love that. We're gonna go to... I had no idea that Dr. Buff was dead, because he definitely should have been able to see it through this gigantic window in the study. Mr. Addison Wimperson, rather than Mr. A Rebel, wasn't there something else that should have had your undivided attention? Like what? Oh yes, of course. A politician must also keep his finger on the electorate's pulse and focus on the... Sorry, but you're way off. I am...
Would you care to explain, Mr. Justice?
If the witness saw Mr. Rebel from his position here, then he should have also been able to see the doctor's body. After all, it was right next to a huge window.
Why, I believe you have a point there.
With the body that clearly visible to the witness, it's unthinkable that he wouldn't have reported it to the police. Ah!
Would the witness care to respond?
He's doing the pose, by the way, from John F. Kennedy's official portrait. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but he keeps doing that, like, looking down, somber pose that they have him in. Did he fall asleep?
Mr. Addison Wimperson? Mr. Addison Wimperson!
Oh, there are many sides to any issue. What did I ever do to deserve this? In any case, I'd like the court to acknowledge the inconsistency in the witness's testimony. Mr. Addison Wimperson, did you really see Mr. Rebel? Yes. No more questions. This is over. Goodbye. Where do you think you're going? Oh, I thought I'd return to my seat, seeing as I had already answered the question. This is some small town hall debate, so you just stay right there until I say we're through. You're not to talk to the audience. You are not to wander around. Oh, yeah, I'll have to run that by my campaign manager before I...
Objection!
Gulp. I can't make steering make noise. Mr. Addison Wimperson, I think it's time for you to come clean. Huh? Never. I'm out. So then does this mean he didn't see Mr. Rebel? As your lawyer, Mr. Addison Wimperson, I advise you to divulge that matter we discussed. Silence is no longer an option. Are you sure about this? I'm in the midst of running for office. I can't afford to let any strange rumors get out. Don't worry. You won't suffer any blowback for what you're about to reveal.
Blowback? I'm not sure I like the sound of that, Mr. Wright. There'll be no blowing in my court.
Not to worry, Your Honor. Nothing untoward will come of this. I promise. Now then, Mr. Justice. Remember how it was an anonymous caller that reported the doctor's death? Come to think of it. Emma, who was the first one to discover the body?
About that, whoever it was, it seems they wanted to remain anonymous.
What?
It happens now and then. Some people would rather not get involved with the police.
Wait, you're not saying that... Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. The anonymous source who contacted the police after discovering the body was... my client, Mr. Paul Atishon Wimperson. The greatest politician. His character's just unimpugnable. What? Oh, you don't say. So you see, he played his part as a concerned citizen quite admirably, if I may say so. Isn't that right? Yes, indeed. In our society today, there are too many who choose indifference over righteous action. But I don't number among them. That's why I did my duty as a concerned citizen. One might call me the model citizen, one worthy of standing above the rest. What a real standard bearer he is, reporting it anonymously. Oh, by the way, Mr. Justice, wasn't there someone else at the scene of the crime when my client discovered the body? Oh, you mean Mr. Rebel? He would have been leaving the doctor's house right around then. Wait, that means... Yes, it does. In short, what my client witnessed was Mr. Rebel fleeing the scene of a heinous murder. Ah! And that's not all. Based on what we've heard so far, Mr. Rebel looked exceedingly suspicious, and that's putting it mildly. We already know the Defiant Dragons threatened the Doctor with bodily harm. And now that they've killed him, the so-called orb transfer agreement is null and void.
Apollo, if we don't come up with some sort of counter-argument.
Thanks, Athena. Yeah, if you want to help me come up with one, that'd be great. What sort of evidence do you have? Can you actually prove that it was Mr. Rebel who killed the Doctor? The move had desperate written all over it. That's all I've got, so I'm going with it. Evidence? I suppose it's true that, well, I don't have any. I knew it! Ha! Ha! But I do have another witness. You do? You should know I always come fully prepared, Mr. Justice. And my new witness will provide testimony proving Mr. Rebel's guilt.
A new witness? I wonder who it could be.
Very well. Bailiff, please summon our new witness, whoever they might be, and hopefully they are a person and not just a drone being piloted by a person. In the meantime, the court will take a brief recess. I would like both sides to use this time to prepare properly. Understood?